Hey, what's up? It's your boy Dot134 down back with another video. Today's video, so we're gonna be talking to you guys with the Arrowverses or Arrow Universe, is right. So we're gonna be using a lot of defining terms here. I'll define them as we go along. Some of them will be kind of confusing, some of them won't. So we got the DC Universe uses a term called the multiverse, which is multi-universe. That's what it's basically short for, right? Which is basically multiple different worlds. You see it in books. For example, you will see it in wait, you know what? We're gonna grab that actually. Oh. They use multiverse multiple times in Infinite Crisis. Crisis on Infinite Earths, sorry. Crisis on Infinite Earths, and so the Arrowverse. If you watch the Arrow, you probably know what I'm talking about, right? So there's a TV show called The Arrow on the CW. So the people that are here, I'll tell you who's actually pertained in the Arrowverse. So the Flash TV show, DC Legends of Tomorrow, and obviously the Arrow, right? Or Arrow, sorry, Arrow. So really, this is basically what it is that this is their universe, right? In the multiverse. So this is one of their multiverses universe. So for example, there's quite possibly a world where Lex Luthor was never Superman's enemy. That is in one of the multiverses. Now the main universe that everybody knows exactly this universe, that everybody knows that Lex Luthor is Superman's enemy, right? But in a different reality, he isn't, right? So that's basically the multiverse, right? And so the Arrowverse is basically the TV show version, the CW basically version of its universe. So the movies will not be going off of. So the movies will not probably involve any of these actors due to the fact that they're all like B-list actors and below, right? Like I couldn't even name you. I think it's Grant Gustin is the Flash character. He's the actor of that. Like I know who some of the actors are, but I couldn't tell you more than the Arrow is the only guy who's played in a main role, big time movie. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the second one, he wasn't even that great of an actor in that one, or he was, but he didn't really. It was confusing. The movie wasn't very good. Whatever. So the multiverse. So basically, the Arrow has their own universe, so they won't be involved in any of the DC movies. Most likely, right? Maybe. I don't know exactly. I don't think they will, right? I don't think they'll be involved at all. I think it's totally different. I think they're shoved off to the side a little bit. I think the Arrow is going to be having their own universe. That's what they call it, the Arrowverse, because it's different from the mainstream line of characters. For example, Smoke, who plays Felicity Smoke, is actually technically. So she did work. So she never really. So in the comic books, in the mainstream comic books, she didn't actually work. She might have worked for Star Lab, but she never worked for the Arrow. She never worked for Oliver Queen. She actually worked for. She never did what she does for Oliver Queen, which is Overwatch, right? She actually does. She actually worked with the DC Legends of Tomorrow, some of the characters over there. She didn't actually do what she does over here, right? What she does with the Arrow. So it's like their own little universe and what they want to do with it, right? So so they're different. They're different aspects. John Diggle actually hates the Green Arrow in this book, but he's friends with him in this one. He didn't kill his wife in the Arrow universe like he probably did in this one, or his loved ones. So they're just different things, right? So the Arrow's actually. So I would think the Arrow's more mainstream to people who watch the TV show, right? Like people are like, oh, so this is mainstream ideas, right? So these are all mainstream, right? No, not really. From the aspect of comic books people and people who are probably watching the movies, it's not really super mainstream to them, right? but it's mainstream to people who watch TV show. And to me, I thought it was mainstream that all these people were like this, right? But in this one, in the comic books, which the newer comic books, which is this one, which is technically the new mainstreamed ideas, right? Because this is what the people are reading. It's not, okay? And you know what? I love the Arrowverse. I love it so much. And so basically, the DC Universe, Universe, DCU, or whatever, whatever, DC Universe. DC Universe, yeah. DC Cinematic Universe, DCCU. DC Cinematic Universe will not really have, I don't think they'll add a lot of these characters in, and if they do, they might. Supergirl's also in the Arrowverse, I believe, but she actually technically from a different reality, so I don't know how she adds in there, right? But basically, the Arrow universe will not be involved in any of the movies, I do not believe. Just because it doesn't seem like it's a big deal. They don't seem like the TV shows are really what they want to do, even though the TV shows do have lots of fan base. So let me guys think in the comment section below. Are you guys big fans of the Arrow universe, which is The Flash, Legends of Tomorrow, and Arrow? Are you guys big fans of the DC universe, or do you guys not really care, right? Because some people just don't care. I love the DC universe. I love the Arrow universe, not the DC. I do love the DC universe, but Arrow universe, Arrow in particular, I do love. So let me guys think in the comment section below. Don't comment, subscribe for more videos, and don't forget to click that like button.